God, I gotta be on the air. What am I gonna do? All right, so what am I gonna do today? Welcome you to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on twitch.tv/DDOstream. The other bit I could mention, though, in the past week is that 8 days ago, I got sick. I actually got quite sick with COVID. Yes, I got COVID for the first time that I'm aware of. That I, as far as, like, I would testify, it is the first time I got sick with COVID this whole time. And it had not happened to me yet. And so I was quite ill through Thanksgiving in the U.S., through Thursday, really, and I started feeling a bit better on Friday. And it's been an uphill. It's been all going up and to the right since then. You probably hear, however, in my voice that I'm still not 100% there. I got like this last 20% that is just being a right pain in the arse. And it's not been much fun to get rid of. So if I sound a little off, if I'm a little weirder than usual, I've been in quarantine for the past 8 days. I haven't done anything. Like, I haven't gone outside. I'm being Mr. Super careful, right? I don't need to be outside, so that's what it's been like for me. So it's overall quite the day to be rolling into the live stream here at now 12:06. So welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a good one yourself. I am okay, though. There was no point where I felt like I needed to maybe consider urgent care or something like that. It was basically just like one of the worst colds I've ever had. But it is definitely no joke. So that is why, you know, I would do it I have been doing it anyway, but I'm a particularly careful person in terms of, like, wearing masks and things like that, because I don't, unless, you know, I don't have usually emergency needs to be doing things and all that. So especially if I just got sick, even though technically I think you can leave the house after about 5 days these days, I'm going the full 10. So yeah. Anyway, that's where we are. That's basically what's going on in my life. But we do have a couple of bits of news that I want to bring up at the start of the show. And then we're going to actually play some of the new Update 57 Grip of the Hidden Hand quests. I'll be doing that over the next few weeks. I've got a character all ready to go, a Dark Apostate on Orion. And so I figured that'll be the character. And we'll run through the new quests here in the coming weeks. And we'll have a little bit of news as well. I did mention earlier that we're planning, at least at this point, we're planning to release our next patch of Substance next week, and this is going to be a lot of bug fixes really related to Update 57, specifically one involving cooldowns of skills that I know has been more impactful to some builds than others. I've got a character on Wayfinder, a Barbarian, that this skill kind of cooldown bug that's been with us the past few weeks has been particularly onerous on. This Dark Apostate, not so much, and I guess you'll see that live. But regardless, we're going to be rolling that back. I know that there's been some impatience for us to get to this particular change. And all I can say is that, you know, we're getting the build out at the earliest opportunity available to us, and it's been a busy couple of weeks. We also had that holiday smack dab in the middle of it that threw off schedules and things like that. So that's really what's up in terms of that. And that'll be a patch next week. I'll have the release notes next week as well. I've been focused on some other work this week and haven't really had time to look over next week's kind of full patch list at this point. So I will have that for you next week when we see the release notes. But you can expect to see some release notes about that and some other related kind of bug fixes. And that's the main thing with next week's patch. Although the other bit is that we're kicking off Festivalt, right? We got Festivalt that'll be happening here in the very near future. So last I heard, we may start hearing or seeing the coins and such drop pretty soon, and I'll have more information about that when it happens. But because it's hard to know when the Jester or Festival will arrive. But no, that'll be happening real soon here. And that's also, there's going to be some stuff in that patch to like shift up some of the cookies and things like that. Typical Festival activities and all of the full dating of that as we get a little bit closer to it. So those are really, I think, the two things that are happening there. However, I'm here to make an announcement today. Yes, I have an announcement to today. And that announcement is that we are getting ready to do a return of our next hardcore season. We are going to be doing a 60-day one, kind of similar to what we did earlier this year. Call it a redux if you want, call it a return, call it a rerun. It's not a rerun, though, because it's 60 days, and we've got a few changes that are happening as well that I will be talking to you about in just a bit. But that will be going live next week. I'm going to... Let me call up my info as now that I'm here. Thought I had it all in my head, but no. So we are going to be... Season 7 kicks off. It will kick off when the worlds go live this time next week, December 7th. It'll run for 60 days, and it'll be a return of our second season of the Hardcore League, that being Trial by Fire. What was that? That involved some extra champions that showed up, and this time around we're also doing a 20% Reaper XP boost. A plus 20% Reaper XP boost will apply to the shorter than usual 60-day season. The 7th season of the Hardcore League, the return of the Trial by Fire. So this will be going live on December 7th, and we're going to be running 60 days, puts it through Sunday, February 5th. Heading into noon here, I was hoping to get a final answer as to whether we were actually going to be going through Sunday, February 5th, or what I would actually suspect might be the case, which is that we would, in fact, actually go through the 7th and then turn it off when we go down on Wednesday, February 8th. So I don't have the final date for you as of noon here today, but it's going to be something like through February 5th. Could be as late as the 7th. That's what I would expect us to actually do, because it just makes more sense. Why make everyone get up at midnight? Why why add that stress to the world, right? So let's reconsider that before we go live. But right now, 60 days technically would put it through there. So nonetheless, it's starting next Wednesday. The free transfers from the Hardcore world are through Sunday. So you've got time still to get your characters off of Hardcore. We've had the server transfers up for a couple of weeks now at least. And so you've got time to get that done. Reminder that we will be offering a free transfer period to Orion in the near future. I don't have timing information on that. That'll be to allow people to transfer to Orion, because right now that server cannot be transferred to. And that's through Sunday, so that's through the 4th year of December. So get your characters off. I will say that during today's maintenance, we did disable daily dice on the Hardcore world only. And that's to just kind of help get some of those final stragglers off of the game world so that we can get the hardware ready for Season 7. So that is what's up there. All right. The other thing I could quick do before I go live here, and or before I kind of move on to other things, is get you our weekly bonus, if I can find it. And then I will turn to chat for a little bit and see what's going on there. Welcome everyone to chat. Sorry, I haven't had an opportunity to really look at you yet. All right, so yes, we have got a listed buddy weekend. That is going to most likely be either 5% X. We just did it, right? Buddy weekend. No, actually, the buddy weekend would be my guess, 10% buddy boost, no raids, or 5% buddy boost with raids. We typically try to get about a max 50% for a full group of people for these buddy boost weekends, and this does not, at this moment, mark whether it does or does not include raids. But we'll figure that one out for Thursday. Either way, it's going to be a grouping XP boost that'll kick off on Thursday. And then, like I said, we also I'm hearing. Oh, do I have that with me? Let me go get that quick, if I can find it. I hear someone's coming here pretty soon. double check to make sure this is the right image. It is. Probably my favorite image of all time in DDO. Maybe not. No, it isn't. I can't say that. That's not at all true. However, this is pretty great. And this is going to be happening here real soon, so. I hear the iron mechanisms of the Iron Defenders off in the distance. And that's what I'll say about that. Let me move quick to the game here. Make sure I've got a character up. I do. Here we are. And while we're kind of getting ready and hanging around and what have you, let me go take a look at our chat. All right. Yeah, I'll have to figure out. Thursday might be a good time frame. The other option would be to really turn Friday afternoons into my streamer kind of moment and do something like a Friday afternoon, perhaps on the DDO side. It might be possible as well. I'll have to kind of think about what works best. The reason I wouldn't want it to be like, say, Monday at noon is where it often takes a little while to get fully up to speed on some things in a way that I'd want to communicate it. And so often I appreciate the fact that it's the middle of the week, because it gives me a few days to kind of get a good grip as to what's going on that week and have the best answers I can for you. Sometimes when you're first showing up on a Monday, you know, to deal with things that maybe came up over the weekend, it takes a little while before we would exactly know what's going on and what have you. And so Monday at noon might not be the greatest time either, but something like later in the week in the afternoon sounds pretty good to me. Are there plans to make Adrenaline carry through with strike through on two-handed fighting melees, similar to Hunt's End with IPS? I have not heard of any plans to do that. That would be very nice. That character I was telling you on Wayfinder would get a lot out of that kind of change. So you saw in the forums that you could move your characters from hardcore to other servers and then to Orion. Is that wrong? No, that is not wrong. That is correct. I do have the world transfer confirmation on which characters I move to other servers. Yeah, it's not going to be that picky, though. What we're really going to do is just, I would say we can't do it indefinitely for all sorts of reasons. But for a period of time, let's say like 2 weeks or something like that, we open just free transfers to Orion. Anyone who really wants to can get on over there, and then we'll shut it back down to become a regular world transfer. And that will be to facilitate the people over the recent months who have wanted to go to Orion but have been unable to because transfers to Orion have not been available. That's the main thing. Yeah, I mean, no one's of the illusion that some people aren't just going to transfer for free because they can or want to, but okay, you know, that's cool. We'll see what happens. But that's why we couldn't leave it open, say, forever, because it would actually become a problem fairly quickly. How quickly does it become a problem? Well, I guess we'll see, huh? But we'll leave it open long enough that you're not like, well, I was out of town over the weekend. So we'll leave it up long enough so that you can actually do the work, but not so long that it becomes a problem. That's the plan on that. The exact timing on that is yet to be announced. So. Okay. You can try. Okay, they did give an answer there as well. And that bug has been a real pickle to try to get through. But it's something we are working on. So. It could be that the Bottle of Mist is no longer possible to get. However, I would state that remember all of the generally all of the expansion area kind of teleport items are now consolidated. So the Bottle of Mist does the same thing as, say, the Salt Marsh. Salt Marsh Compass? Is that what it is? Yeah, Salt Marsh Compass and that kind of thing. There are still a few exceptions, like the Key to Evening Star, which has a specific purpose, but for the most part, all of those old kind of X-Pack teleporters have all been consolidated into one list. If you just want the purple bottle, well, I mean, you had your chance, I guess. I'm sorry. But I'm not aware of it currently being available. Nor plans to do so. I have not heard of any plans to offer guest passes for Feywild. If that changes, I will let you know. Was a good idea posted to the forum recently, which was popular. Weekly or monthly, double XP on less played quest packs to encourage people to play those and group up. Is that possible? I remember years and years ago on the development team, there was a discussion about doing things like that. This would have been, like I said, years ago. So maybe even like 2014, 2015, years ago. A system like that would be very difficult to implement, and the main reason it would be particularly difficult is that, we don't have that kind of technology in place to just boost up a couple of quests for X period of time. That's not to say it couldn't happen. It's always possible this stuff could happen, right? But in general, the answer is it would be a lot of work. Would it be enough work to benefit? Maybe, maybe not. And, it's been a topic that I remember, it comes up occasionally. But I remember the last time it was looked at, I was like, well, you'd have to... What would the engineering behind the scenes look like for something like that? And it ended up just being perhaps more than seemed realistic at the time.
His generous donations make our expeditions possible.
Oh, let me bring out Frogger here. And I'll get my audio going as well. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting, though. But then that's, you also have to ask the question that is like, well, why are these the least run quests, right? You don't want to necessarily drive people to your least popular content. You could argue that. It's not to say that we don't think all of our content is worthy or anything. I'm just saying, realistically, that. We're gonna naturally, over time, over the course of a huge game like this, right? Stuff's gonna happen, so.
Sattler gestures to the door behind you. We've arranged transport to the spot on the Brailish border where the manifest zone was detected. Good luck and good hunting.
I think we are at about 12:24, and let me, before I get going on this quest, can I think of any other news that I should mention? I could mention quick Extra Life. That would be that I will be working this week on that Extra Life stuff. I know that as usual, my glorious plans of being organized and done ahead of time are like, yeah, right. And, so that happened. But I did, at least this time I didn't promise it, so, but I will be getting back to people within the next few weeks. So, thank you. If you have not yet filled out the survey, please do so. There is still time.
A pack of ravenous wolves springs to attack.
Oh, I don't have my headphones plugged in. No wonder it sounds... I was like, why is the game sounding so weird? It's because I don't actually have my headphones plugged in. I didn't notice, because my own voice rattles around my own head so much. There we go. That sounds different. Any word on Night Revel's Redux? No, although I would, you know, it's on our agenda for the short term. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see that maybe in December. Maybe in December. It seems like it might be a good opportunity to squeeze something like that in for a weekend or two. I was reading on the forums today, someone was just saying they got rid of their stuff, even though people in that thread were telling them don't. Sorry for that person, because I think it is going to keep coming back.
The chapel appears undamaged,
so,
but an eerie silence blankets the area. Perhaps the Eye of Mebar.
it is going to be coming back. We've said we are. And we will.
Someone carefully removed the wall here, revealing a vault beyond.
Yeah, so I don't know.
A quick
Gosh.
search of the vault reveals that the Eye of Mebar is no longer
I've been really enjoying these
If
new
the
quests. I like
Mebar
them a lot.
manifest zone makes it
Oh, ETI next producer's
I
letter.
must be somewhere in the area. Perhaps you can learn more in the hamlet. It is said to be nearby.
I would not expect a new producer's letter by the end of the year. I just don't think it's going to happen. However, I would expect to hopefully hear something in the new year about our future plans. And I would expect also perhaps to at least hear a little something about those future plans probably before the producer's letter comes out. So I can't really provide any more kind of hints or timing other than that, other than to say we are aware that, you know, Update 57 is now out, and people are looking forward to hearing about what will be happening next. And when we're in a position to tell you, we will. But that will not likely mean a producer's letter by the end of the year. So. And as to when in the new year, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't want to speculate at this point. I mean, I'm always accurate on the, you know, there's never been a time where I've said it would be coming out at X time and X time passed and then it didn't come out. That just doesn't happen. So, but were it to happen, I might learn from my mistakes after about 5 or 6 years, and then do something about it. So. Oh, what am I doing? Let's use you. All right.
No mercy, no anger. Focus.
Seal off the path. Before you can try one, skeletons crawl their way out of them.
Good
The
fall.
ambush defeated, the gates are no longer an obstacle.
All right, let me actually call up my Twitch chat on a side page. Don't currently have it that. So okay, that's what I've got for the producer's letter. I know that's not great news, but we were talking about this on the team yesterday about like, well, okay, so when might we be able to talk about X, Y, Z? The answer's just not yet, but hopefully we'll have more in the near future that we'll be able to say about that, and we get a hint out, whether it's maybe have Tolero or Sev or whoever ends up maybe do a Q&A on the live stream here later this month. Maybe we could do something like that, right? And sort of just field some questions about kind of what our plans are and see what you can get from people who aren't Cordovan. and may be in a position to kind of reveal a little more about some of these things. So, oops, where am I? Okay.
This portcullis is secured with a stout iron lock.
This way.
The advantage is ours.
I don't know. I don't know what you're asking about. Something about a shard exchange? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Sorry. I'm not putting two and two together. Be curious to know if you've been there, what you think of the new quests. Feel free to mention something in chat. That'd be cool. Alright, when I'm not in combat, let me try to see if I can figure out what you mean by that. Tolero said the daily gold roll for VIP is a step to make it worthwhile, and other stuff was going to be announced. Yeah, we're always looking for ways to bring the most value that we can to our VIP program, and I would expect to see us continue to do that. I think you might be asking about, because we do know that we've got said that we were going to do the free daily gold rolls through the end of the year. We've not announced anything further there. It's true, and as soon as I have something more to announce, or you see more to announce, we will let you know.
Strewn around the town square are the remains
I don't have anything to announce today.
The villagers likely were trying to hide here.
Gold rolls have only been disabled on the hardcore server, which is already, it's been over for what, a month plus now? And so the only thing left is the final free transfers from the hardcore server. Most folks are long gone. About the only folks left are those who were previously doing their free rolls, and they need to get off. They need to get off that world, so. But otherwise, gold rolls are available on every game world. Every active game world.
Trap! Remember to avoid the area.
I know. This one's hard for him to do. I think I'm just gonna skip it. Because I ain't ready to deal with that chest right now. I don't really need it. Alright. Go. Did I miss a lever though down there? I feel like I missed a lever. No. Oh, okay. Okay. It's up then. You'd think my hireling would know by now, or my sentient gem would know by now. I'm not avoiding that. Nah, it ain't happening. See, okay, I thought... Is this not up? That must not be the only one. So what am I missing? I am missing over here. Yes. Oh, yes.
The quell
There we go.
rises with a pitiful wail of rage and despair. The undead have turned this corner of life into a makeshift torture chamber.
This particular build isn't great against these quells because I just do a lot of light damage, which I often have to do through spells and such. That doesn't want to do its thing. Oh, there we go. That'll help. Oop, that was gonna heal. I also have this weird bit on this build where I don't do it a lot. Let's say I cast Divine Power on the enemy, it'll actually damage them. Same with Prayer. My Prayer actually, that did like 1590 damage casting Prayer. I think that's kind of neat. In the Dark Apostate. I have to admit, I don't actually do it a lot though. Just when I'm like really dumping in the light damage. Sometimes I'll include Prayer and such. I think my Bane also does something for some reason. Yeah. Yes, the Hardcore 7 rewards are the same as the Hardcore 2 rewards, with the exception that the Hardcore 2 rewards that had a Roman numeral on it will be changed to 7, so like the mount and the cloak. Actually, that's a very good point. There is one other thing I could mention about the Hardcore Season 7 as well, which is that we're going to be lowering some of the threshold requirements just a little bit because it is a shorter season. So we're going to be bringing it down to 1,500 favor for the Bone Devil Skull Helmet, 3,000 favor for the Bone Devil Armored Mount, 10 Reaper points. The Reaper isn't changing, but remember there's a 20% Reaper XP boost. So 10 Reaper points is Deathwalker's Cloak 7, 20 Reaper points is the Dretchling War Veteran pet. Level 20 is the Deathwalker's Sash 7. And then we're doing the leaderboards per usual as well. So. I'm just looking at a couple of things. Alright. Any updates for a live game Reaper? I don't know what you mean. What kind of live updates for Reaper are you looking for? Transfers are currently not working from Hardcore to Sarlona at the moment. Okay, well, we'll have to look into that when I'm off the air. More cosmetics for Reaper. Okay. Yeah, see, the rogue can't unlock that chest. That's what I was thinking. It's a bug. Okay, well, so you mentioned that you're stuck at 156 points. You know, I mean, 156 was never really intended to be. Oh, what did I do wrong? Must have missed something. Oh yeah, right here.
The barrier.
There we go.
Off the manor hall fades away.
156 Reaper points, you know, maybe that's on us for not having set a cap early on, but 156 Reaper points is not really something that you can expect us to do a lot of support for in the future. You know, we appreciate that you've gone way above and beyond sort of a normal number of Reaper points. But I don't think we really intend to do a lot of incentivizing of further Reaper play like that. That's you know, bleeding out ridiculously large numbers of Reaper points is not really the kind of game design I think that we want to support. So I wouldn't expect to see us do a lot of support above 156 Reaper points in the near future. It would, I think, have to involve a bit of a holistic look at our Reaper point system in general, were we to do something like that. But I've heard plans of, you know, what to do about those who have that number, and we, you know, we'd like to see what we can do there too. But I think incentivizing further Reaper points above, you know, above realistic numbers or whatever is not really, I think, the way we would move forward with acknowledging that effort. I mean, you've already won. That's basically what it is, right? At some point, there was, like, nothing to get further, and then you just kept going.
Skeleton gasps. I was so close to my army of eternal night. You have retrieved the Eye of Mebar. Now to take it to Moorgrave University before some other malefactor tries to use it for evil.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Corchet, by the way. You're saying, you know, it's been out for many years, and so 156 is far more realistic today than it was back in the day, and you're absolutely right. I think you know, the time will come that we're going to have to do something with the current Reaper point system to help address those concerns, and hopefully that's something we would be able to get to. I guess what I'm saying though is, I wouldn't keep stocking up on Reaper points, so to speak. You know, it's like, I think were we to, you know, acknowledge the work you've put in, it's going to be through a system that wouldn't encourage that kind of behavior moving forward necessarily. So it's, you know, it's on us for letting you get those points, and I think everyone acknowledges that. But at the same time, you don't sometimes you want to, you know, you don't want to make a problem worse rather than better. So hopefully earning of Reaper points is not the only thing that attracts you to Dungeons and Dragons Online. I guess if that is you, then thank you for your time here. And hopefully we will do things in the near future to attract you back. Specifically about 120 agilities on chat. I'm going in on easy mode. That's what's happening here. So I have heard, like I have heard of some possibilities. There has been brainstorming that has taken place about, what kind of perhaps reward systems we could put in place or ways to do things with Reaper XP. But nothing has moved forward to the point that I want to discuss it this afternoon. So.
You step into the lavishly decorated entrance to Barrington Worthridge's penthouse suite. Apparently, he keeps the Eye of Donvi locked away in a gallery with the rest of his collection of rare artifacts.
Yeah, red is the red diamond.
Configuration of gears connects to a card.
Isn't it? That one? I thought it was that one. Nope. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, I've got to reverse it, right. That's right.
The mechanism clicks into place, and the power conduit winks up.
That is actually not a bug. That is actually not a bug. I understand why you might say that. But that is not actually a bug. That is intended behavior. Remember, it's lit, right? And you need to unlight it. So you want to reverse the flow.
Is this a courtroom? Yep. A huge sphinx in the back of the room nods its head in greeting. Welcome, stranger, says the sphinx. I am the guardian of the eye. A challenger for the eye must follow my rules. Come. Let us talk. The Sphinx says that you may take the Eye of Donvi, but only if you can find evidence proving that its current owner does not deserve it.
It is unusual behavior, though, so I actually remember when this first came out, I was like, I wonder if that's a bug or not. But no, it's not a bug. It's just a little unusual, and perhaps we could have added a hint or something. But it is working as intended. Maybe it's one of those things that we should do it more. So it becomes more expected. It's like, oh, I don't know, we should cross the streams. But it is kind of a neat mechanic. Could finally do that Ghostbusters raid.
Not all that glitters is gold.
So I have never really figured out what I'm supposed to do with this dog yet. Does anyone know? Anyone know what I'm supposed to be doing with this doggo? Because I, for one, do not. See, is that what it is? Is it like let sleeping dogs lie, and you're just not supposed to do anything? All right. See, I don't think I've got... I guess I could bring out Fraga. Maybe he can find something. Alright, hey, is that... Oh. 5. 2 left. Okay. You can, if you want to, get a whole bunch of pieces of evidence and have a much longer questing experience here if you're interested. And there's also much more efficient ways to do it than I do. I tend to relax and wander when I'm on stream here, rather than sort of go for peak efficiency. People who will run with me, though, can attest that I can Zerg like the best of them, so... So we're kind of rolling... I suppose about that. We are kind of rolling towards the end of the show here.
When you pull this lever, you hear gears screeching in the lobby.
People play the game all sorts of different ways, and it's great. That's all there is to it. Some people, like myself, for example, play the game badly. No, I'm kidding. Or am I? No. I'm alright. I'm taking it easy on myself today. I could and probably should be playing at a higher difficulty than I am.
Enjoy the moment, but don't let this distract you from the mission.
But you know what? This works too. And sometimes you just want to hang out and have fun and loot chests for a bit. And this works. Oh, the bribery. Well, I have to think about what I want to, how I want to handle that. But all right, let's go to court. The people's, no, the Sphinx's court. Or is that like a MASH reference in 2022? People are gonna be like, the what? Who? Judge Wapner? Judge who?
Re-enter the ethereal court. The Sphinx dominates the room as before, but this time, an apparition of a man sits beside it. Empty benches line the walls, seats for a jury that doesn't seem to exist.
Someone said I should try bribery.
You tell the Sphinx which
Why
charge
not?
you wish to prove. Then, an illusory jury appears before your eyes, eager to begin. Now that you have finished examining your evidence, you must present it to the judge. You approach the defendant in the hope that you can trick him into saying something he shouldn't.
Remind me what I'm supposed to do here? Who am I supposed to talk to? There you go. Legal counsel. Oh, bluff and diplomacy. Well, okay. Well, that I don't have much of. What is my bluff and diplo? Diplo's 26. Bluff is 26. That ain't gonna happen. Alright.
Worthridge gestures wildly. Objection! They tried to pull a fast one on me. Punish them, Your Honor. The Sphinx does not react. A pack of angry jurors have come. Now that the jurors have been pummeled into submission, you can continue the trial.
Before his crimes, shows him all powerful.
You stand before the jury, ready to give your speech. As you begin, you watch for the jury's reactions. The jury finishes their deliberation and decides to accept your words. You may continue.
Alright, so I basically established that he worked for Lucian Vaughn. Because he was so trusted, it's likely he knew secrets. He's basically doing his job.
You continue your speech with more confidence.
I see. I'm basically going with these. He's doing his job, so of course he does.
Scowls at the judge. As I said, I'm just holding on to that for a friend. The jury finishes their deliberation and decides to accept your words. You may continue.
See, I'm not gonna... Yeah. Okay, I'll do that one. Basically doing his job. He's just a guy doing his job.
Your speech. The jury
The job of evil.
Deep in thought. You hope you have impressed the jurors enough to keep them in your favor. The judge finishes questioning the defendant. You may now ready your next piece of evidence. You place the evidence on the stand and describe the circumstances surrounding how you found it. The Sphinx turns to Barrington and says, "Defendant, explain yourself. Do you know how hard it is to make it in this city? Give me a break." "Order in the court," says the Sphinx. This is not the time for complaints, defendant.
All right.
State your case.
Secret door. Come from. He'd say seems suspicious. Money makes the world go round. And in this case, it makes the case. Where did he get this money? If it was hidden away in a secret room, there must be something nefarious going. No. Just don't believe him?
You stand before the jury, ready to give your speech. As you begin, you watch for the jury's reactions.
No, transfers to Orion are currently not functional. On top of that, I did receive a report during the stream here today from one of the people in Twitch chat that there may be some issues on Sarlona. I'll be following up on that in just a couple of minutes here.
You continue your speech with more confidence. The jury ponders your words. That's not what I meant. Don't twist my words. The jury finishes their deliberation and decides to accept your words. You may continue.
We can only speculate, but considering his profession and clients, keeping secret cash like that is more than a little suspicious. You might be wondering why. Well, if we can connect this money to some other evidence, we're closer to proving his crimes. Yeah, that's a good one.
Appeal to the jury with one last statement, delivered with aplomb. I never said, do it or else. I said, do it. I'll help. You conclude your speech. The jury considers you, deep in thought. You hope you have impressed the jurors enough to keep them in your favor. The judge finishes questioning the defendant.
All right.
Now ready
next piece of evidence. Try to catch him in a lie.
You approach the defendant in the hope that you can trick him into saying something he shouldn't.
Yeah, I can't.
Worthridge gestures wildly. Objection! Try to pull a fast one on me. Punish them, Your Honor. The Sphinx does not react. The pack of angry jurors accosts you. Now that the jurors have been pummeled into submission, you can...
Alright, what do you say? He said it's none of my business. If that was rude, we have another example of his suspicious dealings. His tricks. A few gold missing, but when I asked him whether all his transactions, he couldn't give me an answer. I'm not surprised. Such dishonesty.
You stand before the jury, ready to give your speech. As you begin, you watch for the jury's reactions. The jury finishes their deliberation and decides to accept your words. You may continue. Worthridge scowls at the judge. As I said, I'm just holding on.
Thought it couldn't be used, didn't we? Well, we could.
You continue your speech with more confidence.
Yeah, we're basically trying to present an evidence trail here, an actual evidence trail. So.
The jury finishes their deliberation and decides to accept your words.
Alright. If you combine the missing information with the mysterious cash of the defendant, it becomes even more clear he's been using the money for more than it would seem. Paying off people, maybe? I'm not gonna lie, doing math makes my head ache. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I implore you to think over yourselves. Maybe you think of something that even I didn't. No, we know about the money, we know about the transactions. It would prove it if we only could. No, we're gonna go with the first one.
You appeal to the jury with one last statement.
Accuse him of a payoff.
You conclude your speech. The jury considers you, deep in thought. You hope you have impressed the jurors enough to keep them in your favor. That's not what I meant. Don't twist my words. You finished the challenge and submitted all 3 pieces of evidence to prove this charge. The Sphinx beckons you over. I have reached a verdict. Come, let us...
Oh, yeah, okay, well,
You tell the
Let's
Sphinx which charge you
try
wish
corruption.
to prove. An illusory jury appears before your eyes, eager to begin. You approach the defendant in the hope that you can trick him into saying something he shouldn't. Worthridge gestures wildly. Objection! They try to pull a fast one on me. Punish them, brother! The Sphinx does not object. A pack of angry jurors accosts you. Now that the jurors have been pummeled into...
Dance on the red tiles. Yes, I remember this.
I never said, do it or else. I said, do it. I'll help.
Okay.
The jury cheers at your smooth moves. The jury cheers at your smooth moves.
You can ultimately, essentially, brute force your way through this quest if you want to, just by doing combat.
The jury cheers at your smooth moves.
Right.
The judge finishes questioning the defendant. You may now ready your next piece of evidence. You place the evidence on the stand and describe the circumstances surrounding how you found it. The Sphinx turns to Barrington and says, "Defendant, explain yourself. Do you know how hard it is to make it in this city? Give me a break." "Order in the court," says the Sphinx. "This is not the time for complaints, defendant. State your case." While the Sphinx continues questioning Worthridge, you notice the jury growing bored and restless.
Dance on red, dance 2 on blue. Quick note, enter will bring up your chat window. Up and down arrows will scroll through most recently used commands. So for a section like this, you can just type in /dance once, and then /dance 2, and then just pop back and forth based on what you need.
The jury cheers at your smooth moves.
I suppose I could actually move my camera so you can see me doing it.
The jury cheers at your smooth.
This is dance 2, so /dance 2. But now that it's in the system, next time I just need to hit enter, and then up and down, and then enter again. So yes, if you just joined us, we are doing a hardcore season 7. That'll be next week. Next Wednesday is when it's going to kick off. It'll run for about at least 60 days. Scroll over to dance, and then do it that way. Yeah. Yep, exactly right. Similar to last year's. But Season 2 this time. And we also have lowered the favor threshold required for the 2 tiers. And we're putting in a 20% Reaper XP boost as well.
You place the evidence on the stand and describe the circumstances surrounding how you found it. The Sphinx turns to Barrington.
Kneel on yellow. Alright. This is dance 2 on blue.
Do you know how hard it is to make it in this city? Give me a break. Order in the court, says the Sphinx. This is not the time for complaints, defendant. State your case. While the Sphinx continues questioning...
I've not heard of anything about bringing gifting to the store. As soon as I would hear something, I will let you know. It's a frequent suggestion.
The jury cheers at your smooth moves.
Dance 2, I think. I think the symbols actually generally match. Yeah. So you can also know whether it's dance 2, or kneel on by looking at the symbol on the circle if you have difficulty discerning the colors.
You finished the challenge and submitted all 3 pieces of evidence to prove this charge. The Sphinx beckons you over. I have reached a verdict. Come, let us talk.
All right.
All the evidence you found, you were confident that Barrington Worthridge would be proven guilty. Now that the Sphinx has announced their ruling, the eye is yours. You leave the court, only to find Worthridge, the real one this time.
Good question. I will have to ask about the over-level entry. I had not heard of plans to revert it back to +4, so that may indicate that it will be +2 for Season 7, but I don't actually know. I will have to look into that. I had forgotten to dig into that one. Yeah. Huh. That's an interesting question. Do you have a preference? I'm guessing people would prefer the +4.
Leaving only Worthridge glowering in the corner. Bravo! You finally got what you
We
wanted.
do what we must to
Happy
complete
now?
the mission.
Please, just
No
take the
regrets.
eye and get
No looking
out
back.
of my apartment. After all the trials and tribulations you've been through today.
All right. Well, we are over time, so I'm going to get back to work. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on twitch.tv/GDOstream. I'll be back next week with more. Hope you have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll have patch notes and more for next week's show.